Ross, one of the perfect voices to have today. Let's just start broad. What's your reaction?
I mean, my initial reaction was just humor. I mean, it's just, I mean, has there ever been anybody as greedy as Elon? I mean, the fact that he wants 100% of the market value of the company as his pay over the next decade to achieve fantastical goals that seem illusionary. I mean, the whole thing seems so crazy and out of control. I don't know. I mean, at what point are things just absurd?
Well, Ross, I mean, a pushback there would be that you think about the target they laid out, $8.5 trillion in a decade's time. Shouldn't that be rewarded on a big scale if he is actually able to steer the company to such a target?
Sure, it should be rewarded, but should it be rewarded with 10% of those market value gains, an unprecedented amount of money for any human being? At what point is the reward make sense? This is not about money. This is about giving control, 25% stake, to Elon to obviously all these sort of fantastical market value goals and EBITDA goals are wonderful, and I hope they achieve them. I still own stock in the company, but I just think the entire situation is so out of control with a board of directors that can't even negotiate with the CEO. It's basically a hostage situation where it's, if you don't give me 25%, I leave, and then they just do it. And in a way that, in my mind, I don't actually think CEOs should be paid off market value increases. It should be paid off actual financial increases, and that's part of this pay package. So I don't know if he'll achieve any of it or none of it or all of it, but it's all just craziness at some point.
You know, I really encourage all of our viewers really to actually go out there and read the filing, because there was a lot of details in that proxy about how we got here. And it's interesting that you used the word, I think you had said, hostage situation. This does appear like a situation where Musk effectively threatened to leave. And I guess it raises the question, Ross, of how important he is, not just so much to Tesla's potential future success, but how much of past success, and whether that in and of itself might have been part of the decision.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting point in that, you know, when you look at Elon's past successes and you say, how important is he to achieve all these goals? And in one sense, you'd say, well, if you look at what they're trying to do, he's crucially important to achieve these goals, because it's basically his fantastical vision of pivoting you know, Tesla from being an electric vehicle company into some sort of robotics company, and assuming that there's even a market for these robots in the future, especially being made by a right-wing, you know, guy that probably a lot of people don't trust. So there seems to be a lot of elements to this that, you know, once again, if they're successful, he deserves some sort of excellent compensation. I'm all for maybe some reasonable number, but when you start talking about $1 trillion for one human being, you know, you start to say, is it really worth it? And could somebody else better lead Tesla in its original goal, which is sustainable transportation and energy? You know, what's wrong with that goal? And maybe they should just hire somebody to achieve the goal that Tesla originally was set out to achieve.
Yeah, and we should point out, too, I mean, also in that filing, they did talk about the idea of coming up with a succession plan for Musk. Doesn't sound like they have one, but certainly something that they've discussed. Ross, there's a broader question here, too. I mean, you know, if we take at face value some of the proposals and ideas that Musk has put out there for how he wants to reimagine Tesla, that's all well and good. But as you know, there is, of course, a fiduciary duty for a public company to its owners, and that is that those are the shareholders, more or less, even if they are minority shareholders. Is there an argument to be made that instead of just giving him $1 trillion spaced out over the next 8 to 10 years, maybe just taking that $1 trillion and maybe taking this company private, and that way he can do what he wants with this company and would only have to answer to himself and whatever small group of people who help finance a take private?
Yeah, I think that's a great point as well. You know, 87% of the people who own Tesla are not Elon Musk and have had no representation in anything that's happened at Tesla. And that's why I'm out here crowing all the time, is because I'm one of those people that feel that I have no representation on the board. And these people are not working for my best interest. They're working for Elon's best interest. I don't think it's ever been more clear from this pay package who the Tesla board of directors is worried about. They're going to take care of Elon at the expense of shareholders. And see, what shareholders, they might be happy today in buying the stock saying, oh my God, Elon can achieve this, we'll all make 8x. But what they're not factoring in is the actual cost in real dollars to us shareholders if he does achieve it.
Well, Ross,
it's quite high.
Well, to that point, I want to talk a little bit about the hypothetical scenario of what the cost to shareholders would be if Elon Musk wasn't in charge of this company. I mean, this is something that I think about a lot. You know, what is the Elon Musk premium that has been built into Tesla stock? You take a look at Tesla's PE, it's somewhere north of 200 or just about there. Mm-hmm. You compare that to Ford, which is under 10 right now. I can't imagine that that PE can be explained exactly by the number of cars that they're selling, as you would expect in a traditional automaker. The argument exists that if Elon Musk wasn't leading this company, that all of those shareholders who are so loyal to him would just back out.
Well, there's something to that. And I think that if you look at Tesla's true valuation minus Elon, and you assign a multiple, not to Ford, which obviously is not comparable to Tesla, it's more like Microsoft or an NVIDIA, which trades at 35 to 45 PEs. And even if you give Tesla the benefit and say, let's say a 50 PE with its current earnings estimates, you're looking at $150 a share over the next year. So you can extrapolate out that there's $200 a share of value. That's what I call the Elon Hope premium, then hopefully all these things will happen, and that's factored in on the stock currently. And that's why the stock would drop dramatically if Elon left Tesla, because there is a huge premium in the stock based off this hope. I think what it is over time, if you don't deliver, that's where this gets tricky, because shareholders are basically making an all-in bet where if Elon delivers, he gets a huge portion of the win. But if he doesn't deliver, shareholders take 100% of the loss. Yeah. So, you know, it's a really unfair deal to shareholders. It's nice to put out lofty expectations that he may or may not achieve, but I think it should be done in some sort of reasonable number, let's say 100 billion instead of a trillion, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Am I crazy? I don't know. Sometimes I think I live in this alternative reality, but most humans make like less than $100,000 a year, and I don't think Elon's such an exceptional human that he deserves $100 billion a year pay package.